Hannah Kobayashi stood in the baggage claim area at Los Angeles International Airport on November 11, 2024, watching the carousel spin with her rainbow-colored leggings bright against the fluorescent lights. She'd arrived 3 days earlier from Maui with plans to catch a connecting flight to New York City. She never boarded that plane, and what her family didn't know yet was that this wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. Keep that detail in mind because it becomes the center of everything that follows. But before we get into today's story, if you love true crime mysteries involving international schemes and shocking family secrets, then you're in the right place. Because that's exactly what we cover here. And I upload new stories 3 to 4 times every week. So if that interests you, please gently tap the like button and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. All right, let's get into today's story, which takes place between Maui, Hawaii, and Los Angeles, California in November 2024. Hannah was 30 years old, a photographer and artist living on the beautiful island of Maui. She worked at a smoke shop called Up and Smoke, where she was known as free-spirited, someone who loved fire twirling on the beach and talking openly about pretty much everything in her life. Her co-workers described her as vibrant and honest, maybe too honest sometimes. She'd recently gone through a breakup with her boyfriend, Amun Miranda, but they'd stayed friendly enough. On November 8th, Hannah boarded a flight from Maui to Los Angeles with a ticket that would take her all the way to New York City. She was excited about this trip. She planned to visit the Museum of Modern Art, see her aunt in New York, and spend a week exploring the city she'd always wanted to visit. But Hannah wasn't traveling alone. Also on that flight was her ex-boyfriend Amun, and 2 other people she knew, an Argentinian couple named Alan Cacace and his girlfriend Marianna. Here's where things get strange. Back in October, just weeks before this trip, Hannah had married Alan Cacace in a small beach ceremony in Hawaii. Her co-workers saw the wedding photos with leis around their necks, both wearing white. There was no secret about it. Hannah told people at the smoke shop exactly what she was doing. This wasn't a love match. This was a business arrangement. Alan needed a green card to stay in the United States, and Hannah needed $15,000 up front, with another $15,000 coming once the immigration paperwork went through. $30,000 total for helping someone with their citizenship. That's what she told her co-workers. The plan was simple. Travel to New York together. Take romantic-looking photos at iconic locations like Central Park, the Empire State Building, Times Square, the Statue of Liberty. Make it look like a real marriage. Show immigration officials that this wasn't fraud. Hannah had agreed to dedicate 1 day of her week-long vacation to taking these photos. One co-worker, Desiree, said Hannah actually offered to help set up similar arrangements for other people. Desiree thought about it, but decided against it. As she put it, it's not worth risking jail for $30,000. But here's what made this trip complicated. Alan's real girlfriend, Marianna, was also coming to New York. So was Hannah's ex-boyfriend, Amun, who was apparently in his own fake marriage arrangement with Marianna. A love square, people called it later. 4 people tangled up in 2 fake marriages and 1 real relationship. Hannah had told her co-workers she wasn't thrilled about this setup. She was frustrated that she'd have to share her vacation with her ex-boyfriend. She was even more frustrated because Marianna had recently accused her of trying to steal Alan, which was absurd given that their marriage was purely transactional. Hannah referred to Alan and Marianna as her cash cows. She wasn't hiding any of this. The flight landed at LAX around 9:30 p.m. on November 8th. Security footage later showed Hannah walking through the airport in her distinctive rainbow leggings and black hoodie. She had a connecting flight to catch to New York, but she didn't get on it. She told her family the next day that she'd missed the connection and was spending time sightseeing in Los Angeles. On November 9th, she was spotted at the Grove, a popular outdoor shopping center about 12 miles from the airport. The next day, November 10th, she returned to the Grove. This time she was captured on video attending a LeBron James pop-up event at the Nike store. She even posted a photo from the event on her Instagram that same day. She seemed fine. She seemed like a tourist enjoying Los Angeles. Then November 11th arrived, and everything shifted. Hannah's family started receiving text messages that immediately alarmed them. One message said she'd been hacked and stripped of her identity. Another said she'd been tricked into giving away all her funds to someone she thought she loved. A third message mentioned deep hackers who had wiped her identity and stolen her money, saying they'd had her on a mind trip since Friday. The messages didn't sound like Hannah. The language was off. The tone was wrong. Her family tried calling. Her phone went dead. It's been off ever since that day. Her family reported her missing on November 13th. The LAPD issued a missing persons poster on November 15th. But here's what investigators would discover later. On November 11th, the same day as those strange texts, Hannah was seen on surveillance cameras at LAX again. She went to baggage claim and requested her luggage be returned from its route to New York. She retrieved it. Then she traveled via the Los Angeles Metro to Union Station in downtown Los Angeles. At Union Station, she used cash and her passport to purchase a bus ticket. That bus took her to the San Isidro border crossing near San Diego, about 200 kilometers southeast of Los Angeles. On November 12th, just after noon, border surveillance cameras captured Hannah Kobayashi walking across the U.S. border into Tijuana, Mexico. She was alone. She had her luggage with her. She appeared calm and unhurried. She was not being followed or coerced. This was voluntary. Meanwhile, back in Hawaii, Hannah's mother, Brandy Yee, was searching through her daughter's home, trying to find any clue about what had happened. That's when she found the immigration documents. Papers listing an immigration attorney's name. Documents related to Hannah's marriage to Alan Cacace. Brandy tried contacting the attorney. According to sources close to the case, the lawyer was completely uncooperative. Wouldn't provide information. Wouldn't help. Brandy turned everything over to the FBI and the Los Angeles Police Department. The family didn't understand what was happening. Their attorney, Sarah Azari, said they couldn't confirm if the marriage was real or if the photos circulating online were authentic. But the evidence was mounting that Hannah had been involved in some kind of immigration scheme. On November 24th, tragedy struck the family. Hannah's father, Ryan Kobayashi, had flown from Hawaii to Los Angeles to help search for his daughter. He'd been passing out flyers, talking to news outlets, desperately looking for any sign of Hannah. That morning, Ryan was found dead in a parking lot near LAX. The medical examiner ruled it a suicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries. His family said he died of a broken heart. He never found out what really happened to his daughter. The investigation continued. On December 2nd, LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell held a press conference. He announced that Hannah Kobayashi was being reclassified as a voluntary missing person. He explained that investigators had reviewed social media posts Hannah made before leaving Maui, posts that expressed a desire to disconnect from modern technology and step away from connectivity. They found no evidence of human trafficking, no evidence of foul play, no evidence that she was in danger. She had deliberately walked away from her life. The family was devastated and confused. They'd raised almost $50,000 through a GoFundMe to help find Hannah. Now people were demanding refunds. The family offered to honor refund requests submitted by December 18th. They hired a private investigator and an attorney because they still had questions. Why would Hannah do this? What about the marriage scam? Did she get the money she was promised? Or was she scammed out of it like some sources suggested? Where was Alan Cacace now? Where was Marianna? What role did any of them play in Hannah's disappearance? On December 11th, more than a month after Hannah vanished, her family released a statement. Hannah had been found safe. She'd contacted them. She was alive and well. The statement didn't say where she was or when she'd return, only that the family was relieved and asked for privacy. A day later, Hannah's sister Sydney posted on Facebook that she'd spoken to Hannah over the phone. Hannah was with their aunt, Larry Pigeon, who'd separated from the family's search efforts and traveled to Mexico on her own. Sydney wrote that she and her mother had not physically seen Hannah yet. They didn't have proof of exactly where she was, only that she was somewhere in Mexico. And here's the hardest part. Hannah didn't wish to return to them. Sydney described feeling exhausted, devastated, and betrayed. On December 16th, Hannah Kobayashi crossed back into the United States on her own. She released a brief statement saying she'd been unaware of everything that had happened while she was gone. She hadn't known about the massive search. She hadn't known about her father's death. She hadn't known that her face had been plastered across national news for weeks. The LAPD officially closed her case and removed her from the missing and unidentified person system. The Hannah Kobayashi case remains one of the most perplexing disappearances of 2024. Whether you believe she was a victim of a green card scam gone wrong or a willing participant who got cold feet about fraud, the evidence shows someone who made a calculated decision to walk away from her life for reasons we may never fully understand. The cost was devastating. Her father lost his life. Her family spent a month in anguish, and questions about immigration fraud, fake marriages, and what really happened between Hannah, Alan, Marianna, and Amun remain unanswered. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, I've got another mystery involving international intrigue and unexpected twists you need to see. Click the video on your screen right now about the woman who vanished for 11 years, only to reappear with a story nobody could verify. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss future stories like this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see ya.